La. Good that you're watching too. The weekly news stream that is not weekly. At least for the time. It was weekly for some time, but then of course things happened. I went to Singapore 2 weeks ago for the Assassin's Creed Black Flag, a resynced event, of course. Then next week I was in London for 007 First Light. And now I'm back. It's good to be back. I mean, I'm super lucky to be able to travel the world to play these games. But yeah, then it's sometimes also nice to be home and do the weekly stream again. And I see some familiar face already. Gage Chanford and Sammy Psa. I hope I pronounced that right. The Ancient Dev, good to see you as always. Morning, your. Well, it's afternoon here, of course, but good morning to you. So, of course, the content is still going on the main channel. Black Flag is kicking. I'm excited for it. Finished 007 First Light this week. I got an early code from IO Interactive. My review is up. It's a very, very good game. It's my game of the year currently. It's amazing. If you love single player, story driven games, basically Uncharted or anything, or just PlayStation exclusives, the PlayStation Studio type of single player games, play 007 First Light. I think it's in that echelon in terms of quality. It's amazing. Subby1 and Zain, I hope I pronounced it right, but appreciate you being here as well. I get 007 today. Nice! Gage, that's awesome. Good to have you back, Yor. Yeah, well, good to be back as well. Brock, good to see you here as well. Got 007 yesterday in the mail. Nice. Can't wait for everyone to start playing and experience it. It's like a rare game where I don't think there's a boring part per se. So I played most of it in one day. On Monday, I just binged it. I already played a bit before, but I finished it in 15 and a half or like in and a half hours if I just focused on the campaign, but I also did some of the side mode, the tactical operations mode. So I was at 17 hours when I rolled credits. And there was never a moment, like if you play a game like in one day, then often you're like, I'm kind of would be down to do something else. But with 007 First Light, I did not have that at all. You're constantly curious what's gonna happen next. They do a great job of throwing different gameplay elements at you. The story is amazing. The characters are awesome. And I think the game's story, and I don't want to spoil anything, of course, but it does a great job of constantly surprising you and kind of you think, okay, is it gonna end? No, they keep going, so that's exciting. It's a really good game. And we have Saber Knight there too. I'll play it someday. It's up my alley, but no money right now. Yeah, Saber Knight. Well, totally keep it in the back of your mind because you will love it. I know for sure. Enter say I played about 3.5 hours. It's a good game, but I would not call it amazing. Okay. Curious why. It's interesting. Like, some people don't like the tutorial. Some people do. I loved it. I think going for the more, you're like training to become an agent and yeah, having the more, it felt like a bit more TV show like, where you're just hanging out with your other friends, going to a club, etc. I love that stuff. But I get that if you like, I want to immediately go on a big mission or whatever, then the intro might be a bit slow. But I think maybe it will get better for you answers later on. For me, it like was great from start to finish. Forza insight to things to come. What do you mean, Heaters 20? Thanks for joining. Surprise is coming in 2027, but really excited. Yeah, I see a lot of people talk, of course, about The Witcher DLC. Yeah, we had rumors that it would first drop The Witcher. No, I think it's like CD Or like The Witcher. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. Medallion's humming, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to announce The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Songs of the Past. This brand new expansion for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt will take you to the path with Geralt of Rivia once more. It's been co-developed by Fool's Theory and is coming to PC, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5 in 2027. Stay tuned for more information in late summer. So that's Gamescom time, or September. But kind of awesome that they revealed it. And yeah, like there were rumors that it was like first there was a rumor that it would come out in May. Then there was a rumor that it would come out this year and then before GTA, but it seems like they need more time. And to be fair, and we're gonna talk about that in this stream, I'm gonna do my state of play predictions, and there are too many games. I've said it for a long time. The summer is crazy. Then Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is dropping July 9th. Tells you all you need to know. Like, they are like, okay, we're just gonna launch then. Because July, sure, let's do it. Because August, September in particular, and October will get filled up very, very quickly too. All to get ahead of GTA 6. Like, if you want to launch in this year, you have to launch before November, basically. Because, yeah, December is possible, but you will get drowned. Like, people will still be talking about GTA here. It's not smart to do that. And otherwise, you're looking at, like, end of January for 2027. That's usually when the games, of course, start releasing. So, interesting. Like, I do think it's probably early 2027 then for this Witcher 3 DLC. Yeah, cool that it's current gen only. And, yeah, looking forward to it. But I think this also means that The Witcher 4 is not dropping in 2027. I mean, I would not rule it out. We've seen crazy stuff like that before. I think didn't Assassin's Creed, like, of course you had the two DLCs for Assassin's Creed, like Shadows and Mirage. Like, we had situations like this before where there was still DLC for Origins in the year Odyssey came out. So it's maybe not the best comparison, but I do think this probably means Witcher 4's 2028. Although they might internally still aim to hit for that 2020 end of 2027 window, but no, I think this probably means that yeah, The Witcher 4 is not launching next year. If you played the latest Hitman, they've used a lot of them maps in the Bond game. I noticed like it looks similar, but that's not to say it's a bad game. Map in Paris and Hitman and the Hotel is similar. There are different stuff in them. So I've played a bit of the Hitman games, but nothing like not too much. So for me, it's all kind of new. And I do think the way you kind of go through these levels, and they're very like story driven instead of being more open like in Hitman, I think makes enough of a difference. So 53 Nights, good to see you. Black Knight, good to see you guys as always. So it's good to see more people join. Valor 8 is saying, I need that Black Flag or Shadows content. Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's what I will say. Because, of course, we know there's more Shadows content coming. And, like, we have rumors about a Black Flag mission dropping. Or some sort of crossover. So you would think that they want to launch that before July 9th. And by the way, if you think, why the heck is my hair going like this? It's because... Oh my god. It's because I have a blower. It's freaking hot here in the Netherlands. Nothing compared to other parts of the world. I have to, of course, give that caveat. But for us in the Netherlands, it's still pretty hot. So I got a blower. It's not not an air conditioner or anything, but it's blows pretty nice cold wind in my face, and that's why my hair is moving. Yeah. I just wish 007 was double the playtime. it's the age-old discussion, of course, with playtime and quality. Like, there were people that said, yo, The Last of Us Part 2 was too long. And that was like 25 hours or 30, depending on how you played. You cannot win. I think for the story that they try to tell, and the ending that it leaves at, and the amount of like quality that you get, I think it is worth the full price. 007 First Light. Like, there's totally, like, I still think Wolverine might be shorter. Like, something is telling me that game is probably going to be like 12 hours or something. We will see. But basically, I prefer a shorter, higher quality per hour game than having a game that they like. For 007, if they made the game double the playtime, you could not have the sort of the cool story beats as often as this game has. So yeah, I don't. I think it's like always an interesting discussion. Like, then I would just say wait for a discount. Like, that is the way to go, because then it will be maybe half the price, and then you're like, okay, I wanted the game to be double the size for $70. I'm gonna wait till it's 35 for the amount of content that it gives. But I think it's good that we're still getting these games, and I really hope people show up for it, and I know people are. But like, that is the reason why some of these games got too big, and because there are people, and I get it as well. Like, you want to spend your money and be able to consume that thing that you bought for as long as possible. Now, 007 First Light has an extra sort of replayable mode, so you can, if you want to get the platinum trophy and want to get all the challenges, I do think you're probably looking at it double the playtime for that game. But just going through the main story, I think the 17 hours that it takes on average is more than fine. I think that's a good number. When it's the deluxe 007 prize draw, I already the winner has already been selected, and that person already let me she posted that they won. I'm gonna show it to everyone here. So I wanted to still announce it, but I already made a post. Here we see this guy. First time that I've won a giveaway. Well, so yeah, emailed the person the code today, and yeah, seems like he's getting the deluxe edition upgrade. So I will of course have more giveaways, but this person has won, and I will announce it also properly on the post page for my main channel. But I already posted that I'm going live here, so I don't want to spam everyone with that. Hey Scott, hey Severus, good to see everyone here. Monster Puff Joe, please no spoilers. I'm currently battling Lenny Kravitz. That is not one way to say no spoilers if you're. I mean, that's not really a spoiler, but don't say anything about the game yourself if you don't want any spoilers. But no, we're not going to talk more about the 007 stuff. Just turn the AC on. We don't have ACs. I'm looking forward to your Sunday video. Well, appreciate it. It's gonna be a fun one so far, although I do hope we get a bit more news. Last week was crazy, of course, with all the news. 007 is extraordinary. Great to see. Crimson Desert still has me Peps Gaming. That's crazy, but I totally get it. That game is crazy long. Melissa, good to see you as well. Thanks for joining. Too many games this year and last year. I'm happy for now with shorter games so I can catch up. Obi Juan, I agree. Like, I love being able to, yeah, play the game. Like, again, they're just two different types of audience. People that want to be able to buy a game. They don't buy maybe games that often, so they want to spend as long in that game as possible. And people that just like going to the movies or whatever, or they are fine with the game not taking like forever to complete. They actually want to take a normal amount of time to finish it. And if that story is of as high quality as 007 First Light from start to finish, I think it's more than fine. Like, they don't reuse a lot of elements. If they would double the playtime, that is probably how they would do it, right? So then you're, oh, I'm in the same car again, let's go, right? They don't do any of that. So I think that's great. Thoughts, predictions for Ace Combat's 8. I'm not the best person to try, but I will mention the game in this stream, so stay tuned. Uncut Chain says Phantom Blade Zero is really the only one I have my eye on at the moment. And it's crazy to me that you are probably one of the only people. This game right now is very under the radar, and it might be crazy to say. I'm gonna quickly put that also in the because people don't realize how big this game is going to be, but there might be reasons to believe that it gets delayed. It's been too quiet for a game that is launching in September. But I spoke to the guys at the Game Awards when they of course dropped that last trailer. I'm gonna add that to the thing here, and they were like, "Yeah, okay, September." It seemed pretty ambitious, basically. That's what I got from it. So I would not be surprised if they are like, okay, let's push it, but they are still Chinese developers. That those people they do get stuff done. So I would not be surprised if they manage to get it out. But it's been very quiet. Like I've been trying to contact them. Yo, are you guys doing something or Summer Game Fest or anything else or Gamescom or whatever? No words. And I heard from Luke Stevens, he tried as well. No word. And we've been in contact with them. I was invited to an event like last year. Dennis went to China for it, and that was a really cool event. And of course, at the Game Awards, I saw them too. They announced their release date with a very cool trailer, and yeah, it has been quiet ever since. Obviously, I get it. Like, take your time and get the game ready. But even during Game Awards, it felt like maybe the September release date, they had still a lot of work to do, basically. So, and I also would not mind if this gets pushed to 2027. Like, it's one of my most anticipated games. Now that 007 is also out, but and of course with the amount of stuff that is coming, like if this game gets delayed, it means that I have more time playing Blood of Dawnwalker, because that game launches like a few days before this, and that looks like an awesome experience as well. I'm not saying that it will be. Like, again, it could totally be during Summer Game Fest. They're like, and we're back. Here's the freaking, I don't know, new trailer. It looks amazing. Pre-order now. I don't even think we can pre-order right now. So there's also that. Like, but yeah, anything can happen these days. They can at one point just flip the switch. Look at Black Flag. That was announced a month ago now, or like a little more, like mid-April, and it's coming out in July. Like, that is just how gaming marketing goes these days. But yeah, if this hits in September, it's gonna be huge. And I think actually Wolverine is gonna hurt quite a bit. Because this game will be out before that, and the word of mouth will be crazy for this. The internet will be full with awesome gameplay, and this game is gonna be insanely huge. I know that for a fact. Played it a couple of times already. It plays as good as it looks. This is one of those games where it looks kind of challenging, but you're actually... It can be challenging, but you feel like a badass the moment you pick up the controller. It's not even that hard. It's awesome, all these boss designs and the amount of weapons you have. Every boss gives one of their weapons or whatever. Like, oh, let's use this against that. Oh, let's use the drunk attack from the enemy we just killed. Like, and again, it has some Souls-like elements. It is not Souls-like, though. It should be way more manageable. I think it has difficulty settings as well. So, this looks insane. This is gonna be huge. This is gonna be absolutely massive. Sander, good to see you as always. AC Odyssey was not a good game in my opinion. Well, you can have your opinion. How does Yor not have an AC in his manor? What do you? Oh no! Oh my god! Took me a lot. Because that's Europe for you. Why we don't do ACs. So Full Theory is making the DLC and the Witcher 1 remake, yes. And I think some CD Projekt veterans are actually working at Full Theory. Holy crap, I forgot about Shadows. Been busy on Crimson and 007. Well, let's see if they have something worth pulling you away from those games. Scott is asking, do we have any idea when we get the update for Shadows? I've been asking around and nothing on solid news yet. I mean, like I said, there have been rumors about a Black Flag crossover mission, and if they want to launch that, it has to be before July 9th. So I would be shocked if they don't do an update before then. East Blue Drew, good to see you as well. Thanks for joining. So yeah, stay tuned. Jet Laner, also nice to see everyone join. I really hope the Phantom game gets announced. Well, they are not going to do that. Like, they're not going to announce the Phantom game when they have Wolverine to promote. So I think it's almost time to do some state of play predictions. And I did quite some research for this, but I do think it would be good if everyone looks at what I have to say and then insert some things. So then maybe after I go through everything, we can like talk about some other things that I might have missed. But I do think I looked at the list. Of course, the perfect, nothing is wrong with list that shows how crazy this year is. So we go here. Lego Batman, of course, out. And 007 First Light out now. So those are gone. Control, Black Flag. So many games. Okay, we can put this one now here. And we're going to make this upcoming because it's not 2026 anymore. So yeah, it was rumored for, but it's now 2027. It is what I mean with the Blood of Dawnwalker and Phantom Blade Zero. This is not good. This is not good. For two of those games that you want. Yeah. This is a rumor. We will see what happens. That is crazy, right? This is crazy. But yeah, I included these in the state of play prediction that we're gonna do. Assassin's Creed Codename Hexe, I'm so ready for. Well, feels like that game, even though it might launch next year, like in June. Feels like that game is still too far away to care. We will see, but I'm of course curious. 53 Night says, you're gonna make Dusk Blots. That's of course the From Software Switch 2 game. I probably will not play it. I don't know. I do have a Switch 2. Because I knew they would raise the price. So I was like, I'm gonna get the cheapest version. But hey. No, I think there are too many games to care about Dusk Blots. It's like a PvEVP game, right? No, I'm good. Unless it's like 10 out of 10, you gotta play it. And then, but like, I would play my Switch 2 on the road, and I don't think I can play with Duskblots on the road unless they have like an AI mode, but I don't think that would be exciting. So no, I don't think I will. The two games I'm waiting for, Lords of the Fallen 2, says Jason, and Mortal Shell 2. Two very similar games, but yeah, I agree, those have looked great, and I totally think we will get Lords of the Fallen 2 info during Summer Game Fest. So, let's look at the Summer Game Fest calendar, shall we? I will be live reacting. Do they have like a list of all the games? There's too many shows to care, but we're just gonna touch on the big ones, of course. I will do a proper Summer Game Fest like show predictions as well. So this, of course, Friday, June 5th is the regular Jeff Keighley show, and that will be pretty big, I think. That will be pretty big. I will talk more about what I think will be there, but I think it makes more sense to make a prediction video for that after the State of Play has happened. So the State of Play happens on June 2nd, right here. So after that, we can have a better idea of what will be at the Summer Game Fest. So I think I will probably that Wednesday do my Summer Game Fest predictions video. Maybe during the stream. That would make the most sense, right? During the stream next week. Because then, yeah, like I can now throw up games and then they might be at the State of Play instead of Summer Game Fest. We will talk about State of Play in depth in a moment. So yeah, there are a lot of other here flagship events. To be fair, some of them say like flagship event. Not sure if I agree with everything, but although Day of the Devs like a indie showcase. June 5th, so this is the one you can like put a timer. So basically they're both at the same time. If you're in Europe, they're both at 11 p.m., which is quite late, but I will of course be live reacting. And then we of course have the June 7th Xbox event, which will also be good, but this one will be earlier, luckily. This one will be 7 p.m. for us in Europe, while of course in the US these are all either in the morning or in the afternoon. So yeah, hope you can watch with me. I will be putting up countdown timers for all of them. I'm gonna put that in my calendar for probably this year. I should do it, or this year. I should totally do it this year. I mean, this week. So I'm gonna look at that. Yeah, the State of Play is up first. And I think the Xbox showcase will, of course, be pretty big, too. I mean, we got the new CEO, so I do think she wants to make a splash. She is gonna win some hearts. She wants to win some hearts. So it's weird they said The Witcher 3 DLCs in late summer. Yeah, that's because it's not gonna be at Summer Game Fest. Like, I think they announced it because they probably had, like, an investor call. And announcing that it's gonna be in late summer means that nobody's gonna be disappointed that it doesn't show up at any of these events. Making it Switch exclusives was dumb. Well, Melissa, I mean, they probably saw the truck that Nintendo sent their way with a ton of cash, and they were like, yeah, that's good. Let's do it. We had this idea. Like, I don't know if Duskbloods would have been big. Like, they probably had like a team at From Software that had this idea, and they were like, let's do it. Although I do think Miyazaki is working on it as well, right? I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, basically, maybe it comes to other platforms later, but yes, Nintendo wanted a big splash. Like, I do think it could be huge for the Switch too. Like, they of course got their big Nintendo fans on board already, and it's on them to also make other people care, and getting a From Software exclusive. We know Sony did that with Bloodborne. It really helps. So I get why they did it. And again, it's like a multiplayer game, so it's not as big as like an Elden Ring exclusive or something would be. So I'm fine with it. $70 is normal for AAA day one for sure. Why is 007 First Light so expensive? Yeah, it's the normal price for sure. Curious how fast they're gonna drop it though. I wonder, will make Jeff any reference to Highguard? No, I think he will not mention Highguard at all. But I do think in interviews like leading up to the Game Awards, one of his biggest takeaways from last year will likely be, we're not gonna do a live service game as the final game. Like, the next one more thing for the Game Awards has to be huge. That one has to be crazy. I wish more these games were more grown up. I've been playing since before the first Nintendo came out with the Atari 2600. Every time a new console game came out, it was a huge technical leap. Things got better, looked better. A lot these days have seemed to still out and almost reverse because indie games, especially phone games stretched for kids, because they look worse than Minegraves, and that's saying something. Games were more mature in the 90s. I'm not sure if I agree with that at all. There are way more games than back then, and if you look around, you can still find a lot of mature games. But of course, at one point we will hit a sort of technical ceiling where games cannot look always much better. Like that, the jumps that you mentioned, yeah, sure, but there are other technical leaps that are happening right now, and the fact that we can now load almost instantly into a game is crazy for the types of games that we're playing. Um, so there are totally technical things that are advancing, and I would argue that there are totally a lot of mature games, but there are just way more games. So it depends on where you look. Of course you have your mobile games, but it's good that there are games for everyone, right? Because yeah, the people that grew up playing games, they are still playing games, while everyone who grows up now also immediately starts playing games. While yeah, so it's all moving. There are more people playing games than ever, which is great. So obviously there are more games for everyone, but I would argue there are a lot of mature games if you look for them. Copestain says, I've never played the original Black Flag. How long does it take to beat the game while doing side missions? I would say like 30 hours, something like that. Bayonetta is if you want grown-up Nintendo games, yeah, and that did not really do well. Like, for Nintendo, obviously, the audience is a bit different. When they try to do more quote-unquote mature games, that's just not the audience, like, that is there for their games. 007 is $40 in my region. That's a nice grab, totally. Yes, but license probably cost them 20-30% of sales, plus the platform taking 33%. That is a good point as well. But we did hear that the budget for 007 First Light, IO Interactive, even though they have multiple studios, of course they're mostly in Europe, so that helps. Like, making games in the US is way more expensive. But even though it's like, again, I think the quality bar, it's totally as high as you would expect from big PlayStation Studios productions, I would say. But I think they're like half the budget, so like maybe 150 million instead of the full 300, or maybe closer to 100 million. So I think they would probably be fine with 3 million sold. I hope that that's at least the case. The Steam numbers have been pretty good so far. So 76,000 right now. And I think PlayStation is probably the bigger platform. So I really hope that they hit like 1 million soon. Because it means we will get more of these games. Like, of course, vote with your wallet, and I can't look into your wallet, but we've all, like, I think it's always interesting when we have the discussion, we don't want live service games, But the people that play those games spend a lot in those games. So if the companies are like, whoa, this is where the money is at, let's go. Of course, things are shifting now, making a live service game in this day and age when there are many established games already is super hard. So, yeah, obviously that gold mine has kind of come and gone. Like, if you are not one of those established games, it's very hard to get a hold of it. But I would argue that probably a lot of people that have been saying, I don't like live service games, oh, this crap, might now be saying, yo, 007 is too expensive. And like, what do you want? Like, I think it's good that there are still games that are just linear, story-driven, no bullshit. And, like, of course, maybe the Uncharted games had some multiplayer, but they're, like, not the same. Like they are giving you more than the campaign. That tactical ops mode where you can replay certain or like do special missions in in locations you've already been to is a lot of fun. The gameplay is amazing. So them giving you more replayable stuff is really good, and I totally expect them to do New Game Plus, and they will add more missions to that operations mode. So I think it's a great package. Like, if we have a problem with 007 First Light, then we have a problem as a consumer of this medium, because I think this is a great package. And of course, if you want to wait for a sale, totally do that. But if you are in the market for these types of games, I think it's good to vote with your wallet and say, yo, I want more of this. And I totally think that if we do that as a community, then we get more of this and we send the message that, of course, like we can say we don't want live service games, but then that is still where a lot of people spend their money. And then, yeah, we have to show up for these other games as well to send that message. Ready Player Blue is raiding with 13 people. I appreciate that. Thank you for joining. Did I ever play gacha games like Wuthering Grave? I spent like maybe 100 hours in Genshin Impact, but I don't want to talk about it. I never understood games taking 100 million up budget. Why? I mean, what is the highest cost for a game? It's the developers working on it. So if you have a game that has been... 007 First Light has been in development for 7 years. Of course, smaller team. They did the Hitman as well. At one point, they had a bigger team. But that's a long time. If you have to pay people their salary for that amount of time and you have a few hundred people working on it, you can easily do the math. It easily gets to plus 100 million. Well, appreciate everyone joining. Blue Raid, this is very kind. Thank you, everyone. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 007 is a great game. Just loving the story and want it to be longer. I mean, that's good, right? That you want the story to be longer, but it's not too short. I mean, I want my favorite TV show to have 20 episodes, but it only has 8. Like, that's just how it goes. And I think it's better than... Sometimes you think you want something, but it's sometimes better to not have everything you want, if you know what I mean. It's sometimes better to be left wanting more. Because the moment you can get something, it's less interesting, basically. Did you hear the latest drama where pirates managed to crack new release games lately? Yeah, I saw it. I think with Foresight was maybe a review code person, like, leaking the game or something. It's crazy that pirating is still as big, but, I mean, it has been a thing for forever, so, yeah. I don't think it will ever go away. But it has been interesting to see multiple big games, like, even before launch, right? Get hacked. That is crazy. Used to be 3 years for a game, and now it's 7. Yeah, that is the crazy world we're in. Like, again, that is the discussion we're having, right? People are saying, oh, 007 First Light is not long enough. It doesn't have enough content. If you look at games that came out way before this, they had even less content. Like, of course, some took longer. They were a bit harder, but I think the package that we're getting now with the amount of graphics and attention to detail and all that sort of stuff, you cannot make a game that looks less like 007. Then people will also be like, why would I pay for this? This doesn't look as good as the game I played a few years ago. So they have to up the tech all the time. And yeah, that costs way more than games used to cost. Of course, salaries increased, etc., etc. Yeah, the rent of the buildings, etc. So while the games still cost almost the same and way less if you look at inflation as well. So of course, way more people are playing games too. So that helps to offset things, but still, it is interesting. So Blazing Flame is asking about the state of play. I think it's good to go into the state of play segment here in a moment. I'm gonna catch up with some more people, and then we're gonna go into my state of play predictions, and also going over everything we can expect there. And like I said, I want you to insert some extra things if you're like, hey, you forgot about this thing that we might see. I want to basically hear your predictions as well. So I'm going to go over what we know, what I think will be there, some like more pie in the sky things, like, oh, that would be amazing if that will be there, but there is a chance, of course, and some overall thoughts. And then I will look at the chat and see what you guys are saying so we can kind of predict and do more. I hope they take Hitman 4 more in this direction. I think they will with Hitman 4 just still explore the more things that make the game Hitman. I would be down though for them taking the learnings from 007, like the fact that it's more cinematic, has more of a story. I think that would actually be awesome. for a Hitman game too. But I'm not sure. I do think they probably got like some extra budget for 007 from Amazon, that of course owns the license, etc., etc. They got some like sponsored deals, so you see quite a lot of Coca-Cola cans in the game. So like they probably have a bigger budget for this than they would have for Hitman, because they know, okay, Hitman will probably sell a couple million. They hope, of course, more for this. So I don't know if they can like, yeah, really go as crazy as they're doing with 007. But I at least hope that 007 sells like 5 million before the end of the year, so we at least get the sequel. That would be amazing. And I do think it could get nominated for Game of the Year. I'm really as bullish on that. I think it should. I think it should. People complain 007 ain't word forgot Resident Evil 9 sold 8 million copies for the same game length. Yeah, again. Like, I think if 007 was like 10 hours, I would agree. But I think 15 to 20 hours is the sweet spot for single player games. Because, like I said, I remember with Last of Us Part 2, people were like, oh, it's way too long. It's like, it's never good, right? And I should not go to Twitter anymore. Like, I hate that platform more and more. Because first it was like, okay, I don't believe everyone's saying, they're just forging hate and stuff. I'm like, it's not that bad, but right now with 007, I'm seeing things like, I don't even want to get into it, but it's like, people really should just go outside sometimes. Log off. Find a life. Copestain, I would recommend you watch my review for 007 First Light on the main channel. Because I talk about the tech sim over there. Basically, it's a way to replay missions, or basically like do special missions, do more with the combat. You have challenges like, kill the enemy in a certain way, and then you get points, and it's cool. It's really fun. Okay, what's up with Fable? Well, we have an Xbox showcase on June 7th, so then we will likely know, and I would love a release date. I think it's gonna be October, but we will see. Okay, let's move on to the state of play, because there's one incoming. A state of play has been announced for June 2nd. It's gonna be a big one, and the fact that they're announcing it on May 20th is pretty huge. Like, usually we get state of play reveals a few days before they actually are happening, so them already giving us a heads up 2 weeks in advance is kind of crazy. A new look at Marvel's Wolverine kicks off 60 minutes of news and announcements for games coming to PS5. So in this video, I of course want to give you my predictions, go over some news, some leaks, etc., etc., and let me know what you want to see, of course, in the comments, or if you're watching live, in the chat, so we can go over that as well. June 2nd, more than 60 minutes of updates. To kick things off, you will get a closer look at Marvel's Wolverine. Insomniac will share more of its upcoming third-person action-adventure game, showing off Logan's brutal and relentless combat, alongside some new details. This all-new take on the comic book legend launches on PS5 September 15th. We, of course, already knew that. In the insanely crowded September, a week before Phantom Blade Zero, and also like a little over a week before Blood of Dawnwalker. It's crazy out there. So this is all we know officially from Sony. They are doing an official like state of play free fan event at the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema, so you can watch the show with other people, which is kind of awesome in a cinema. There they say it's 90 minutes, but they might do like some commercials or whatever. But like Sony says 60 minutes. It's probably going to be like 80, something like that. That's what usually happens. But the fact that it's in a cinema, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that happens often. So that tells me that there's a lot happening at this state of play. So yeah, they say, of course, we get a lot of Wolverine. This is the second trailer we got. Of course, we remember maybe the one that we had when they announced Spider-Man 2. They also announced, or they announced Wolverine. I think they announced Spider-Man 2 first in that PlayStation showcase, and then we saw that teaser trailer for Wolverine, and this is of course the first sort of gameplay look we got at the game. Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see more. I'm already on board though. Like, I'm like, I'm gonna play this anyways. Insomniac, you got my money already. But I would love to hear a bit more about the game length, because I'm still... Spider-Man 2 as an open world game is 20 hours to do everything, right? This is not open world. Like, I am worried that we're looking at like a 12-hour package here. So I hope that they can like kind of convince me that, yo, there's like, we have kind of an open level here. I hope there's more. Another thing that we will also probably learn about, and it's, for example, what we see here with Ghost of Yote, they also announced like, okay, the game is coming, and they had like the collector's edition and digital deluxe edition. So I think we will get photos like this with, yo, you get these outfits for Wolverine, stuff like that, right? And then what they are also saying here is that the pre-orders are happening like the week after they announce that. So begin next week is when they will start pre-orders. So I think for Wolverine as well, they will show hopefully a 6 to 8 minute gameplay, like kind of what happened with Spider-Man 2, right? Like a full mission, or basically like from start to finish. Maybe some cuts here and there, and then they will end with the deluxe edition. You can pre-order then and then. I think it's gonna be a week after this state of play, and then yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But of course, Wolverine will start the show, and that means that they will have something else as the final reveal. And maybe you remember, state of plays right now have huge end of the show reveals. Always a PlayStation Studio game. Last state of play has the God of War trilogy remake. And it seems like we get another God of War reveal during this state of play as the final thing. And that's of course the God of War phase spin-off featuring Tyr and multiple mythologies. These are rumors, it's not confirmed. But the fact that Cory Barlog, of course the director on God of War 2018, has been working since 2018 on his own game in the God of War universe, something I predicted for a long time, seems to be happening. And yeah, it seems to be focused on Kratos' second wife, Faye. And yeah, prequel, of course, and Multiplayer First is confirming that the East Asian mythologies will be part of it. And that makes sense. If you played Ragnarok and finished it, you saw Tyr at the end do some like meditation moves, and that hinted at the next God of War taking place in those mythologies. I would be down for that. We, of course, heard about Egypt for a long time. That would be awesome, too. But I think going here... like, they always do the unexpected, right? We did not get Mjolnir as a weapon in Ragnarok. We got the Draupnir spear. Like, they are always doing different things. So, I think this would be awesome. This is a perfect end-of-the-year reveal. Or end-of-the-show reveal. 2027 is the rumor date. That would go wild. And I can't wait. I think this will be crazy. But I also expect some people are like, oh, we're playing a female again. No, please don't. Okay. I'm not saying that you are like that, but I know the internet. We will see. We will see. But Nate the Hate says... Nate 8 says there will be other exclusives other than God of War and Wolverine at the state of play. So he casually confirms that God of War game is likely happening from Cory Barlog and Wolverine, of course. So what are the other exclusives that could be there? I'm going to throw in a crazy one first, because we know that Naughty Dog has a second team led by Sean Ascai. I always butcher that name. I always look it up when he does like interviews. It's like Sean Ascai. Either way, he was a director on Marvel's Avengers at Crystal Dynamics. Before that, he worked on Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. And after Marvel's Avengers, he joined Naughty Dog again to do The Last of Us Part 1, to kind of get into the swing of things again. And it seems, rumors are indicating, many rumors, that he's now doing an Uncharted game, because it would be kind of crazy for Sony. They're pumping out games for their biggest franchise that are like 15 million plus sales, right? Uncharted is one of those, and they have not touched that in forever. I recently looked it up, like Lost Legacy was 2017, and of course Uncharted 4 was 2016. So that's been a very long time. Not saying that we will get the game at this state of play, just throwing it out there. This is heavily rumored. We could see it. Would be huge. Personally, if the PlayStation 6 is indeed coming next year, or like some sort of event for it, I think this is a game that you want to save for that. But hey, if we get more exclusives, it might be this. Another one that I think is more likely is likely Until Dawn 2. This has been rumored for a very long time from the Fire Sprite devs. This is a studio that Sony bought. They worked on Call of the Mountain, the Horizon VR game. But they've also been working a very long time on a horror game with choices. And we had, of course, the Until Dawn remake that had a new ending cutscene teasing a sequel. So I would not be surprised if they announce this and it's out in October. I think they did that with the Until Dawn remake as well. So, yeah, we will see. But that would be another one that we can see. I quickly want to scroll through all the studios they have and kind of talk about if I think they will show up at the State of Play. Believing Digital, I think they will save a new Gran Turismo for the PlayStation 6. Of course, we already had Astrobot. I think they will take some time. Fire Sprite, we talked about that. Guerrilla, of course. Horizon Hunters Gathering. I saw some people, like, I've seen some other predictions for State of Plays. They're like, oh, they're going to show Hunters Gathering. I don't think so. I played the second test they did. This game is still very far away, it feels. Like, they're not ready yet for prime time. And there are some things in that. Like, I played the second test. There's a new character there. It's like a streamer or something. Like it still hurts, this game, as a Horizon fan. So, I think they might be, like, there are some other games that we will talk about that they might show. But I think Horizon Hunters Gathering, I think they will keep that in the background and really talk about that when they're closer. Then we have Housemarque. Serral's, of course, just came out. I can totally see them do Serral's DLC, like a free update, like the co-op mode. Although it might be a bit too early for that. Media Molecule, I think they still need some more time. Nixus, the PC port studio. That is, of course, an interesting thing, because we learned from Jason Schreier that PlayStation Studios boss, CEO Herman Hulst, told staff in the town hall meeting on Monday morning that the company's narrative single-player games will now be PlayStation exclusive, confirming Bloomberg's report from earlier this year. So I would not be surprised if during the State of Play we're like only on PlayStation, that for Wolverine, that for the God of War game, that for any of the other games, they're like only on PlayStation. They can hammer that home again. Because, yeah, it's now true. These games are not coming over to PC, while Horizon Hunters Gathering and the other types of games, they are still coming over. The live service games, basically. So, Nixus, I'm curious what they're going to do. They were the port studio, so they might be helping just with the live service games now. Then we have Band, of course. Their game got cancelled recently. I don't think we will hear from them soon. We might see more from Marathon. Haven, that's the other one. There was a trademark here for Break-In. That is seemingly the new name for a Fair Game $. It's interesting that they, of course, filed the trademark right now, but we also recently had a report here from Tom Henderson talking about that they just did another test and it's struggling. Like, it seems, the very least, Fair Games is still a long way to go in development. People did not like it. Like, I also don't think you want to, like, announce that at the State of Play if it feels like it's far from happening. So, like, they might just do a sort of Horizon Hunters Gathering approach where they will announce it in a blog post and be like, test it, help us out, please. But, yeah. Of course, Wolverine, I think Insomniac will only show Wolverine, not the rumored Venom game. Intergalactic, I think they will save Intergalactic for the September State of Play. I would love for it to show up, but I think they want to focus on Wolverine first and then do Intergalactic. San Diego, MLB The Show, Santa Monica, yeah, we know the Faye game. Sucker Punch, I think they will go dark for a while with Ghost of Yotei, of course, just out. They announced there are no more updates for Ghost of Yotei. Team LFG, Valkyrie's like a mobile. So that is it for PlayStation Studios. But obviously, these State of Plays have way more games. But I think it's interesting to look at this first. Of course, now we're going to talk about third-party games. But Xbox will have a big show as well on June 7th. Their Xbox Game Showcase. We're on Insider Gaming, and it seems that some titles that will be at that Xbox Showcase have appeared on the Game Pass website, including Plague Tale Resonance, or I should say Resonance a Plague Tale Legacy, which of course the prequel for the Plague Tale series. It's a prequel, right? It looks awesome. I would have guessed like maybe that's coming to the State of Play. That's a game that is now rumored for August 27th, but it seems like Xbox has it because it's coming to Game Pass as well. A game that I'm really looking forward to. Clockwork Revolution is also here as a coming soon, and I love this image. But yeah, those are Xbox games. So basically, I'm going to talk about third-party games now. There is a chance that they will show up at Jeff Keighley's event on June 5th, or at the Xbox event on June 7th. But I picked games here that I think will have a higher chance to show up at PlayStation because they either have already appeared at the State of Play or are just more PlayStation games, if that makes sense. And there will be some games missing, and maybe we'll talk about that here in a second. If you have something, again, put it in the chat if you're watching live. But yeah, I think some will, like a Lords of the Fallen 2, I think that's more a Jeff Keighley game than a State of Play game. But I think the big one that we will hopefully see and get a release date for is Control Resonance, because what you're seeing here is a gameplay trailer that they showed at the State of Play. This is really high on my list. I think the next time we see it, it will already look much better than this gameplay. But of course, they are doing some very cool stuff. I love how it's more, like, they don't want to say open world, but it has like very more open levels compared to the original. Obviously, we play a more melee character than Jesse. So I think, like, they want to still launch this year. It's crazy out there, and we're going to talk about more games that still want to launch before GTA. If they can, I would maybe say, yo, go for January 2027. But hey, I do think they want to launch this year. We will see. But it's going to be a big game. It needs to be a big success, though, for Remedy. Because, of course, their live service, FBC Firebreak, did not do well. Alan Wake did not do as well as they had hoped. So this has to be a big release. I think it's going to be like a very high scoring game in terms of Metacritic. But let's hope that people actually show up. I will at least be there. Then another game that I totally think we will see at the State of Play, because they also announced this at a recent State of Play, is of course the new Kena game. And yeah, it looks awesome. I love the inclusion of mounts. And they said 2026. This is another game where I'm like, do you really want to? Because it's like, I already said Plague Tale end of August. Blood of Dawnwalker September 4th. Phantom Blade Zero September 15th or September 9th. Wolverine September 15th. This is all a third-person action game. Where do you want to fit Kena? But hey, we will see. Because the first game really benefited from being one of the first PS5 titles, right? So we will see. But of course, the game looks great. Yeah, the new Silent Hill game is first person. Townfall. I'm sure we might get like a release date. Of course, Konami is a big, team player with PlayStation, if that's the right way to put it. And of course, they have like the Metal Gear sort of Volume 2 remakes coming as well. So I totally think this and that could be included. A game that I'm really looking forward to that is also still coming out before GTA. Look, this game is also gonna come in either September or October, or maybe August. Like it's not good. It's not good. But hey, we're feasting, but we also have to make choices, and I think a lot will. This game is gonna be amazing though. I do think Phantom Blade Zero will be better. Maybe not better. It depends. This game totally, like, it was my favorite game at Gamescom, as you might know. I love playing it. It was my biggest surprise. Even more so than Phantom Blade Zero, because I already knew what Phantom Blade Zero was. So, but I just don't think it will, benefit from a September release date or whatever. But I'm sure we will see it at the State of Play. Capcom is on a roll, so they don't really have anything else for the rest of the year. Apart from something that I will touch on in a moment, but that's like smaller. But yeah, I do think we will see Onimusha Way of the Sword at the State of Play with likely a release date. This is another game because, hey, we have end of August stuff. We have the big September. We got like a pretty crowded October that will fill up. after Summer Game Fest. But here in August, let's see, do they like say that here? It's like August 4th. We get this game from the Pokemon developers that looks surprisingly awesome. It has like a combo of like action combat with turn-based elements where you command the dog. Look, I think this game could be pretty fun. And it has been at State of Plays before. I would not be surprised if they use this final State of Play before the game is out to promote it once more. Then another game that is like Tomb Raider. When you think of Tomb Raider, you think of PlayStation, right? So obviously a remake of the 1993 game, you're gonna be here. It looks awesome. Legacy of Atlantis, of course. This is, yeah, I think they also still want to have this out in 2026. So I really think we will see it at either this State of Play or, like, I'm going to say State of Play, but it could also be at the Jeff show because they, of course, announced this and Catalyst, the real new Tomb Raider game from Crystal Dynamics, at the Game Awards. So I would not be surprised if they're like, hey Jeff, let's do a deal. We are at the Game Awards, we're at Summer Game Fest, and then Gamescom as well, and you got like the bundle going, and it's good stuff for everyone. So we will see, but I totally think we will see Lara, of course, in this Summer Game Fest. Another big Game Awards reveal, right? It was announced at the Game Awards. Yeah, Ace Combat 8. I think this is more like a State of Play game, so I would not be surprised if we see it. It's still coming out this year, right? So yeah, that's another one of those before GTA games. Now we're getting into territory where I'm like, it could go either way. The ones that I just mentioned, the games that I just mentioned, I'm like pretty certain that they will show up. But it could go either way for this one. This is, of course, Judas, the game from the BioShock creator Ken Levine. And this has been in development for a crazy long time. He started working on it after BioShock Infinite. That was a 2013 game, right? So yeah, this has been in development for a crazy long time. And he has been doing like blog posts on PlayStation. He has been like, I think he was at a State of Play already once. They know that PlayStation is the audience for this game. I think this game is going to be very, very special. I believe. I want to believe. And they're taking their time. But I do think at one point they have to launch. Now, Take-Two doesn't need this game. So they, of course, have GTA. I think we might see it again and finally get a release date for early 2027. I think it would be crazy if they launched this before GTA. But I also would not be surprised. I just think that there is a chance that we see it at the State of Play. I already touched on it. This is low-key maybe the biggest PlayStation exclusive coming out this year. Yeah, I'm saying that even though we have, of course, Wolverine. But no, Phantom Blade Zero, like this is gonna be insanely huge. It's also coming to PC, of course, but not Xbox, which is kind of crazy. And yeah, I played it a couple of times. What is there to say? Like, this is gonna be massive, and I think it's gonna hurt a lot of the other September releases. I can't wait for it. It looks, it plays as good as it looks. That's how I always like to describe it, because you're often like, is this real? Is it like only cinematic? No, you're actually doing all these moves, and it's super fluid. But yeah, it has been quiet, so I do think Summer Game Fest is gonna be very important. Will they still hit that September 9th release date? But here, PlayStation console exclusive. They're taunting Xbox with that, of course. But yeah, this is gonna be huge, and I do think it's good to have that at the event. Then we have another game that you might have forgotten about, but that is another one of those Asian games that is like, yo, we are here and we are Western devs, so we're coming for your freaking money because we can do this too. We can do an Uncharted. You should be scared of us. Blood Message is this game, and it looks amazing. It's again, a more action adventure type game, but it does still have the bladed combat, but it's just super cinematic. Look at this. Of course, we have to see how it plays with Phantom Blade Zero. I know, okay, it's pretty easy to do all the moves that you see on screen. We don't know with a scripted trailer like this. But yeah, I think I'm not sure if it's coming to Xbox, but this feels like another one of those games where they're like, hey, PlayStation, do you have a spot for us? I can see this either be at the Jeff Keighley event or at the State of Play, and this is gonna be another one of those. Look at this scene, is so cool. The fights just look so heavy. Like every enemy feels like a challenge to overcome, and I can't wait for this. I really can't wait for this, and I would love to see more. I do think it's coming out next year, which is fine. Like, again, it's too crowded already. But yeah, this would be another cool one at the State of Play. I know people will say Resident Evil DLC. I think there's gonna be Resident Evil 9 DLC probably at this event. PlayStation always gets the Resident Evil stuff. So, high chance we will see it. Let's go a bit more pie in the sky. Let's go a bit more crazy. What about Jedi 3? Star Wars Jedi 3. I can totally see this be at this. I can see this be at any of the Summer Game Fest things. But probably Jeff Keighley makes the most sense. But yeah, I think PlayStation is the biggest audience for this game. So we have confirmation time and time again that they're, of course, going to do a final game in the trilogy. So it has been it has been like 3 years since Jedi Survivor. And it has been almost, yeah, it has been a very, like, in September, the amount of time between Survivor, how can I say that? Like, from Fallen Order to Survivor is the same amount of time as from Survivor till September this year, basically. So, high chance that we will see this game at one point. I don't think it will launch this year. Those were rumors. That would be crazy. I don't think that's smart either, but I can't wait to see it. But yeah, this one is looming. It's gonna drop before the new consoles are out. We will see when. And another one of those is, of course, Hogwarts Legacy 2. So this is a report. Like, websites have been putting up a report because one Twitter user, Tidux, who I don't think, like, I like the person, I've interacted with him, great guy, but I don't think he has any insider info. So he tweeted basically HL2 or whatever, and they were like, Hogwarts Legacy 2 is coming, oh my god. But I don't believe it. Either way, we could see it. This is one of those games where you're also like, let's put on a show in a freaking theater. That's what you do if you have an Hogwarts Legacy 2 reveal. But I think it's not coming out like next year, end of the year. We have the HBO TV show, of course, coming at the end of this year. But yeah, they have a new season, I think, every year. So I don't think it matters. When they, I don't think they need to launch this game with that TV show. It's gonna happen, though. Hogwarts Legacy released in 2023. Same as Jedi Survivor. So yeah, we're, like, 3 years is not a lot of time, but they did cancel the DLC. They've been working on it for a long time. We know Rocksteady have been, like, helping with, like, Hogwarts Legacy content. I don't know, man. I think it's too soon. If I had to guess, I don't think we see it this year. But I would love to be wrong. They could just do another teaser trailer and call it a day. But, yeah, I think this is more like a PlayStation 6 reveal event stream or whatever, right? Just like Hogwarts Legacy. But, we will see. I just wanted to throw it out there. This is another looming game. Then, one more thing before I will look at the chat here and see what I maybe missed. Sony is releasing a new PlayStation Portal OLED model this year. Wanted to throw it out there. That has been a rumor. I believe it. So this is not the new handheld they want to do. But this is a, the Portal that we already have, but with an OLED display. They want to get this out before the potential handheld, of course. I think this is more a September State of Play reveal. That's when they usually do hardware for the end of the year. But yeah, still want to throw it out there. This has been rumored. Who knows? Maybe they will drop it at this State of Play. Okay. Let's see if people still have things that I missed that could be at the State of Play. But I think this has been a pretty good roundup of what we know so far. I see people say GTA 6. Of course, not gonna happen. They will pick their own day. They will be in the summer, they already said. What about Injustice 3? That is an interesting one, Blaze Flame. I feel that that's too soon. I think that that's too soon. We just had also, of course, Lego Batman for Warner. I think the next game from NetherRealm is seemingly a DC fighter game. It might not be Injustice 3, but like a separate DC fighting game. I think it's too soon. But that is totally something we could see during Summer Game Fest. But I think it's too soon overall. Jojo says regarding Blood Message, right? It looks like Hellblade. I get why, but this game will have way more gameplay than Hellblade. Well, this already came out about Judas. Ooh. No. It's still not out. It's still not out. Skata, see you later, man. Next year between Mortal Kombat 11 and 1 was 4 years. Yeah, I think next year makes more sense. Persona 6. That is an interesting one, Pan Fried Pancake. It could totally be. But we have seen Xbox kind of carrying the torch for Persona lately. They, of course, got all the games on Game Pass. Didn't they reveal Persona 4 Reload? So I think it would be fair for Atlas to be like, yo, you get the Persona 6 reveal. But, yeah, could be at State of Play as well. That is totally a good one. How about the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3? No, I have not mentioned that. All is Dust. That is actually a good one too. But what I think with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth 3, or Rebirth 3, Remake 3, I don't think you want to put that in a State of Play. Because what they noticed as a Square Enix is that having that game as an exclusive, they of course got Final Fantasy 16, the first remake, and Rebirth started out as a PlayStation 5 exclusive, or PS4 in the case of the first remake. It did not, it still sold well, but not as good as they wanted. So when they brought it over to PC, it helped. So I think the moment they go announce this third part at a PlayStation event again, people might be like, oh, it's PlayStation exclusive again. I think they will, if it's happening at an event, it will likely be at Jeff Keighley's event. So June 5th for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I think. Persona 4 Remake at the Xbox Showcase this year. Yeah, Jojo, I think so too. Kingdom Hearts 4 is... that's just so hard to predict. But yeah, I think that's another one. If you want to show that, that could totally be the Jeff game as well. The one more thing at Jeff's thing. But I think Part 3 is before Kingdom Hearts 4. But yeah, we will see. They're going to be beefy showcases, Warren. I think so too. I think we're at a pretty interesting time where we are getting some fine showcases. Marvel 1943 is vaporware. Like I think making a prediction for that game is also not great because that's been delayed indefinitely. No, I'm not feeling it. I don't know. Blade, Iron Man, those are good picks. Blade, of course, from Arcane should be at the Xbox Showcase. I really think it's time. Of course, their last game was Deathloop from Arcane Leon. So, feels like it's time for Blade. Like a launch next year, I think makes sense. In terms of Iron Man, that's the EA game from Motive. A lot of people that worked on that game were put on Battlefield 6 to get that out. So, I think Iron Man is further away. Those were reports at least. Than we think. So I think Iron Man needs more time. I don't think we see it. But yeah, those are some great picks overall. So of course, let me know what you think in the comments. And I will speak to you soon. Goodbye. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. That was the end of the video that we're doing on the React channel. 30 minutes. State of Play talk. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, Ben Studios next game. Yeah, I touched on that real quick. I don't think it will be there. Blade, looking forward to the game. Hope it's good. I have a lot of faith in Arcane Leon. I think they're an amazing studio. Dishonored and of course Deathloop. Look at my cool background here. Woo. Hey, Makaman, good to see you as well. I totally miss you. Always get tricked when you do that during a stream. Yeah, that's why I immediately afterwards say, oh. But yeah, I have to do the outro as well for the people watching later. I went to the bedroom and came back. I thought you were leaving. I was like, no, don't worry. We're still here for a bit. Blaze Flame says Media Molecule should be ready. No, that's another one where it's super hard. You would think so, that they have something. But, yeah. We now have a new rumor here from Insider Gaming that just dropped. Talking about a Rayman Legends remake. Logo leaked online. Coming October 2026, October 1st. So that could totally be another Summer Game Fest reveal. Maybe at State of Play, maybe somewhere else. Are there a few more leaks? The logo leaked. Same person has leaked content for the... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Announcement is near, so I won't post. Rayman Legends retold. That's so funny, right? That all the big games that Ubisoft is doing right now are remakes. But hey, it makes sense. They got a huge like catalog of games that yeah, could use some extra upgrades like Black Flag. Like again, I think Black Flag Resynced makes me very excited for other remakes for Assassin's Creed, and I really think they're gonna do more of them. Rayman Legends remake more useless than a The Lost Was One. Well, Jojo, I mean, did the game have like something like online multiplayer or something? Maybe like I think there are stuff that things that they could do. We needed a new game, not a remake. Well, people are showing up for the remakes, and I do think in this day and age, like to make a case for the remakes, I do think in this day and age where new games take so long to make, if these companies can put out remakes in between and that are actually of value, like the Resident Evil remakes, again, Black Flag Resynced, feels like a different game. Like they are doing quite a lot to it. If we can get those things while we wait for the actual new games, and I do think what I think is really happening with Black Flag Resynced as well, it's showing Ubisoft what we want. And I do think that they use that to apply it to the new games. They're seeing what people react to in Black Flag Resynced, what is working, and I do think that helps them with the new games too. So, like you don't have to buy them, and it doesn't mean that they're not doing new games. Like if they were like, okay, we're stopping all the new Assassin's Creed releases, we're only doing remakes from now on. Okay, there you got a point. With of course Naughty Dog. Yeah, that kind of got crazy with those remakes, and Horizon Zero Dawn remastered. Like, why? But you don't have to engage with them. And as long as they still make new games, I think it's all fine. I just realized you have a raptor tattoo that looks amazing. I do. Thank you. Might as well remake Beyond Good and Evil 1 since the second game will take forever. I mean, they did do an anniversary edition, right? But yeah, why not? What did Mr. Matty reference you in a video recently? What did he say? I'm curious. Really like Matty. The asking price is too high for Black Flag. We need to remember it's a remake, and it's one of my favorite games ever. Just wait for a sale. They're gonna probably drop the price around the Christmas period. I think for Shadows it took a year or something, like a little shorter. Uncharted would be fun multiplayer. I mean, Uncharted had a great multiplayer. And it was where we could play the game in 60 FPS, right? I think that was like exclusive to the... Or at least it felt great. Around the GTA 6 period. Oh yeah, that is when they will drop the price. I think that's the end of the stream. Thanks to everyone for watching and of course responding and stuff. From now on, I will be here every Wednesday with this stream. So I hope you can join. And yeah, then we can like build this up again, because we had something cool going on with quite some people joining every week. Of course, it's very cool that everyone is joining, but I want to, yeah, have this more frequent, of course, like have this every week again. Sometimes my schedule does not allow it, but I want to be better at it. And yeah, I really enjoy, of course, talking with you directly, talking about the news. And I think Wednesday is a great spot, because then some things have already happened, some new things are happening, and then we can, of course, record a video like this. And man, gaming, like, we had a lot of like dooming, like a lot of like doom stories at the end of the year, and the industry is still not in a great spot, but it does feel like we're kind of figuring things out now. And it does feel like things are kind of looking up, and look at the amount of games that are coming out. 007 First Light just released. If you're playing that game, dude, enjoy. It's special. It's so good. So thanks everyone for watching. And I hope you have a great rest of the week. Again, enjoy 007 if you're playing. I will have a Sunday video up. I will have more Black Flag videos up. I still am sitting on a lot of information from my interviews. So look forward to that. I will speak